Alright, students, we already covered our chapter 1 revision. So we're moving to chapter 2, that is soil characteristics. Soil characteristic can be divided into three. That is soil physical characteristic, chemical, and also biological characteristic. In physical characteristic, we can divide into five. That is soil texture, structure, density, porosity, and also soil color. Soil texture. Soil texture means the composition of or the percentage of sand, silt, clay. So the triangles, we did a lot of exercises on the triangle to determine what type of soil according to the percentage of sand, silt, clay. After that, we check on soil structure. Soil structure means how the sand, silt, clay combine or bind together, whether it's blocky, prismatic, columnar, in a granular form. Soil texture, relative amount of sand, silt, clay. These are further explanations. And yes, this is it. The diagram, the triangle, the soil texture triangle, and then soil structure, how the sand, silt, and clay combine in soil. Even if not mistaken, test one, I asked you all to list down four. It's not four type of soil structure, and almost everyone can answer it. Ensure soil structure contributing factors. What are the factors that affect the formation of soil structure? It may be due to climates, freezing and thawing. Thawing means ice, ice menjadi cair. And then sometimes we call as de-thawing, that means dia akan menjadi ais balik. Microorganisms activities as well as plant roots and soil animals absorbed cations. These factors or contributing factors for the formation of soil structure, the different formation of soil structure. Then we have soil density. Class, you have to remember this is a revision class. I'm just let's quickly we'll go through all the slides here. Those slides that I feel not important, I just skip it. Soil density in soil, we will calculate two types of density, that is particle density and bulk density. Bulk. The word bulk itself means everything. So you don't need to compress the soil. We take soil sample, we measure the volume, measure the mass, then straight away can calculate the density. That is bulk density. Particle density, that means we have to remove the pore spaces. We have to compact the soil. Means half, if you still remember the first slide, what is soil? What is the perfect soil composition? We talk about organic soil, mineral soil, air and water. 50% will be air and water, right? So same here, when we compact the soil, the pore spaces, the micropores and also macropores in the soil will be compacted. So there will be no air, there will be no water trapped in that particular soil, in that particular compacted soil. So what will be remain the same is the mass, but the volume change by half. This the diagram to explain what I explained just now. It's a detailed explanation what I explained just now. Porosity in the when we talk explaining about density, I already talked about macropores and also micropores. Soil colors. If you notice, there will be a certain amount of colors, certain type of colors in soil. So basically, we have four type. That is red soil, black, brown, and white soil. So why we have different colors of soil? It's because of the mineral matter, the paramaterials, organic matter, The nature of abundance of ions, if ions, a lot of ions present in the soil will be gray, the soil will be reddish in color, and moisture content and drainage. These are the contributing factors of different soil colors. Usually we'll have question on this. And we already done some of the activities. Why, if a lot of iron present, what type of soil? If iron sulfide minerals, what type of soil? Everything is again calcium is white color. If low oxygen, it will be a grayish color. If a lot of organic matter, will be black in color. These are the type of colors. So that's all for soil physical properties. You have to remember, question come out, list down five types of soil physical properties. You have to list down all those soil structure, soil texture, soil porosity, density, as well as soil color. Then we move on to the second part, that is soil chemical properties. Soil chemical properties, we also have five or six. If not missing, I already removed soil redox potential. It's not in your syllabus, so I remove it. If we talk the real soil chemical properties, I mean, we will have about eight in total. So in your syllabus, we have four of this. So I'm going to talk, or I'm going to explain on four of this. That is CEC, cation exchange capacity. When we talk about cation exchange capacity, I give a detailed explanation on how sponge function. It's the same thing with colloid. Colloid have a lot of pore spaces, a lot of holes, right? Those holes, just imagine those holes are our cation exchange site. So most of our minerals are cations. So our site will be negative charge. Our chloride is negative charge. All the most positive charge minerals or ions, nutrients are absorbed to colloid. The plant root will absorb those nutrients from our colloid. It's not going to absorb any freely available nutrients. If the nutrient or mineral or element go into colloid, then only our plant parts can absorb it. Remember, we have four type of colloid. You see it here? Yes, we have four type of colloids. That is in organic soil, we call it as humus. The others are clay, simply clay, but three type of clays. That is crystalline silicate clay, volcanic ash, as well as non-silicate clays, or either ferrum or aluminum oxides. Further explanation on which element contains high CEC. Remember, high CEC. CEC is very important in soil. If the soil contains high CEC, that means it can hold more nutrient, or it can hold more water. Another diagram to do comparison between high CEC, or compare between clay and sand, 50% CEC and 0% CEC. 0% CEC, that means it's not going to hold any nutrients. There are some soils, especially when I'm working in Sabah, Sadakan. Whenever I'm doing CC tests, or whenever I'm checking nitrogens or phosphorus, it always shows, especially at Poly Sadakan, it always shows zero. I found out really the soil in those particular areas is already either B layer or almost reaching C layer. There are no nutrients in it. Even when I did a study in Tawau, Marotai, so volcanic soil, very low CC, very low CC. So I give recommendation to those companies, those estates in the Marotai, to increase organic materials, especially EFB, empty fruit branch, so that it can become humus via the uh, decaying process. The factors affecting CEC depend on soil texture, the percentage, remember the percentage of size of clay, the organic matter present in the soil, humus. If more organic matter, that means logically it contains high humus content. High humus content means directly we are touching on colloids and CC. And also when we talk about inorganic soil, we talk about humus. In mineral soil, we talk about clay, the type of clays. We have three type of clays, right? And also the soil reaction. Soil reaction here means the pH level. We do have the chart, yes. This is it. If the pH of the soil is between 5.5 to 6.5, we almost you can get all the nutrients, either macro or micronutrients. Plants can get all the minerals will be available for plant uptake. In easy word, that's it. It's available for plant uptake. Then we have importance of CC. Why you have to study CC? Yes, to give recommendation, to know whether the method of fertilizer application, how to correct the pH, to altering soil physical characteristics, especially soil texture and structures. If the soil contains high sand content, how we are going to change the soil texture? We need to add more humus, we need to add more organic materials so that the amount of humus increase. And base saturation, especially base saturations here means those minerals, those minerals that we are applying to plants are always positive charge, and the power, it depends on the power. The higher the power, the priority for that particles or for that element to bind first in colloid. Compare with when we compare magnesium and potassium, magnesium contains 2 plus, that means it contains 2 charges, and potassium only have 1. So whenever there are empty spaces in colloid, she cannot get it. They have to wait until magnesium go in and all the magnesium, excess magnesium in soil finish, then only potassium can enter the colloid. Unless we have additional places in colloid, additional empty pore spaces in our colloid or CEC site. Soil pH, importance of soil pH, why we study pH. You are not, this is not a new term. pH is not a new term for you all. If not mistaken, since you all in a standard 2, not primary, it's dari darjah 2 Yes, from darjah 2, you're already familiar with the term pH. Which one is acidic, which one is alkaline. In school we call alkaline, but here in science in proper terms we call as base. We already did this activity. The sources of acidity in soil, even question come out in your first test. That's all for, if I'm not mistaken, that's all for your second biological chemical properties. So how we measure soil pH? We use either pH meter, portable pH meter, or in lab pH meter, colorimeter. Oh, the last one, soil conductivity. Usually we check soil conductivity in hydroponics or fertigation. Whenever we mix the fertilizer in the form of A and B, we have to check the EC level. Usually plants need around 2.5. Leafy vegetables need 2 to 2.5. Like tomatoes, eggplant, chilies, you can go up to 3. The EC level can go to 3. All right, that's all for soil physical characteristics and also chemical characteristics. Then the next one will be soil organisms. This one is very easy. Soil organisms, we can divide or we can classify it into 2. That is soil microorganisms and also soil macroorganisms. You have to remember, macroorganisms mean benda yang besar yang kita boleh nampak. Dia termasuk sekali dengan plants, tumbuh-tumbuhan yang besar, dan juga human, kita, animals. Kalau micro, yang hanya kita boleh nampak di bawah mikroskop. Benda-benda yang halus, bacteria, protozoa, nematodes, actinomycetes, nodules, rhizobiums. These are tiny things that we can look, or we only can identify inside microscope, or via using microscope. Itu je sebenarnya. Dan dia punya function. Dia boleh, when I when I explain about this chapter, I give detailed explanation on earthworm. Apa function earthworm? Even your test saya keluarkan soalan ni. Earthworm, okay, benefit of organisma di dalam tanah. Kalau list down je benefit of earthworm dah cukup. Dia boleh hasilkan nitrogen, dia boleh fixkan nitrogen sendiri. Dia akan meningkatkan soil aggregates, dia akan break down toxic compounds in soil. Dah ada 5 dah. Simple, very simple. You don't have to remember those benefits. Even I shared an article or paper that published in January 1998 talking about the benefits of soil organisms. These are nodules. Inside nodules, we will have rhizobacters, a bacteria, a type of bacteria that can fix nitrogen by itself by absorbing ammonia in the soil. We have three colors of rhizobacters. If pink means it's still young, green means it's producing nitrogen. If it's black, it's already dead. Usually it bind with legume type of crops. And the benefit of earthworm, again, common earthworms in Malaysia, usually people using African nightcrawler because it's grow very fast and also is do composting. The vermicompost we call as vermicompost, it can do vermicompost very fast. Right, then factors affecting soil microorganism activities. As a human, kalau kita nak buat aktiviti, kita nak berdiri, kita nak berjalan, what we need? We need makanan, nutrients, we need oxygen untuk hidup, we need air, we need pH yang sesuai di dalam air yang kita minum. Semua ini adalah sama, benda yang sama je diperlukan oleh mikroorganisma. Kerana kita pun mikroorganisma kan? Alright, that's all. That's all. We already done with our revision on chapter 1 and chapter 2. So class, do watch the clips, do watch the video. If you have any questions, please message me. Please message me. Thank you, class.